the hottest place in town. Billy should have known that Hurricane and Frankie were up to something. They had sung this song and he had joined in. Needless to say, when Frankie turned to him with a smirk, Billy had frozen, horrified. "This is the scrap machine," Hurricane announced. "I and Frankie have fun with her down here, mainly at their expense." "There?" Billy asked. "Scrappy is a whiz at our victims," Frankie smirked. "And how do you do it?" Billy asked. "Trade secret," Frankie said. "All I can say is this: it's fun." "You two aren't scaring me," Billy said. "I'm going to get help." "Nobody's getting any help," Hurricane sneered. "You refused. What a shame. You were already going to make a fine trophy. Frankie and I had someone in Germany looking forward to you. If only your pesky attitude hadn't ruined it." "It's such a shame, but I never got my hands on Spencer." Frankie shook her head. "We had someone in Bulgaria who wanted him, and then he goes and helps the Duke and Justice. Selfish engine." "Hurricane, I think it's time to bring out the big guns." Hurricane smirked. "Yes, Frankie." They went to a hidden room and took Billy into this room. "Nobody will find out, and I mean, how long do you think Hurricane and I have been doing this?" Frankie said. And with that ominous statement, the light suddenly came to light and revealed the rest of the room. Oh no! Billy reeled in horror at the image represented to him. The room was decorated with scrapped engines. A banner as black as night hung over it. The words, "The hottest place in town," were scrawled on it in blood red. "We've barely had to torture the engines," Hurricane said as his driver came out. "We mostly send them off. We enslave them other times. We only torture engines that really annoy us, and you, Billy, annoyed us." Hurricane's driver turned his attention to a small can on the floor. He removed the lid, revealing that it was filled with red-hot coals. Lying on top of the coals were several large nails. Hurricane's driver carefully picked up a nail and positioned it on his victim's cab. He then grabbed a hammer and took careful aim. "No!" Billy screamed. No! The hammer came down and the nail punctured the metal. The burn screamed. Hurricane's driver tried to wind up another nail but couldn't find his nail and let out a frustrated grunt when the man brought the hammer back to take a wild swing. Billy burst out crying for the first time and actually started begging. "Please stop! Please stop!" Hurricane rolled his eyes, putting down the hammer and the tongues. Hurricane's driver got a blowtorch. He applied it to Billy's front and turned it on. Billy screamed. "This is the place where you can have some fun." Hurricane sang with Frankie as Billy's screams continued. Frankie's driver then pressed the remote, and the room was now filled with saw blades, electrical wires, and a bucket of something. In a brief millisecond, a flash from the circular saws caused a breathless shriek to come out of Billy's throat. The electric currents of the second stage were such as bad, if not worse, and he felt himself vomiting blood. And then the bucket. The bucket was full of molten gold. Billy shrieked in undying agony as the molten gold told on him. Hurricane's driver got a chainsaw and sliced off burned out the hydrochloric acid. Frankie giggled. Frankie's driver brewed some green liquid on the gold-covered Billy. Blood gushed from Billy's head and ran down his face. His skin melted in contact with the acid. He felt his eyes rolling into the back of his head as his face melted. Hurricane's driver then pushed Billy onto a rack and turned the crank. Billy's forehead started turning a ghastly blue. When it all became too much to handle, Billy screamed out his final breath. The rack reaching its tipping point and tearing the engine apart. "What a lovely piece," Frankie giggled. "A chef d'oeuvre, as the French would put it." Billy's so much agreeable about that sash and troublesome appearance. Seeing the finished work. I think he'd look wonderful when he's preserved as a work of art, to be admired by all those who visit the steelworks, and to serve as a warning to anyone who might do what Billy did. You know, in a "this is what will happen to you if you snarl back at us" kind of way. Any suggestions for next victims? Hurricane asked. Well, I was thinking about Misty Island. The steelworks had room for many more.